All right, everyone, cheers. Welcome to Brittany Alexandra, my YouTube channel, and I'm the host of Crime Ghoul. So, hey guys, what's up? Here is a YouTube video of my latest episode that is coming Monday, and it is titled The Devil Made Me Do It. The Devil Made Me Do It. But cheers, I have a glass of champagne because it's my first real YouTube video, so congratulations to me. Got some candy corn. I'd offer you one, but just know in spirit I'm offering you one. So, let's get to it. So today I'm giving you guys an episode called The Devil Made Me Do It. So obviously, some demonic things are at play here. So basically, this story takes place in 1980 in Brookfield, Connecticut. So I'm from Long Island, New York. So right across the Long Island Sound is Connecticut. And there's a couple. There's Arne Johnson and there's Debbie Glatzel. Now, Debbie and Arne are looking for rental properties. They have Debbie's brother, David, 11-year-old David Glatzel, with them. And, they're looking for rental properties in the area. They stumble upon a property and they decide to take it on. They're like, we're going to clean it up. We're going to make it all nice. Kumbaya. It's going to be great. So they think. So that's what happens. Specifically, they get this one property. And one day they're cleaning up the area. They're cleaning up the outside. And David's inside with Mary, who is their cousin. She's 9. She's a younging. And Debbie's sister, Wanda, who's younger. Pretty sure she's younger. And Mary and David are just horsing around in the master bedroom. They're playing near a waterbed because furniture was left in there by the previous owner. I know it's always kind of a little weird, but like I mentioned in my Amityville episode on my podcast, sometimes people leave the furniture there and it's auctioned off or the new owners can keep it. So basically there was a weird crusty ass waterbed. So they're playing on it and it's all fun and games until David is jumping on the bed and he is approached by an old man. Now this old man is not nice, he's aggressive and he shoves him and he's telling him, you guys can't live here. If you do, we're gonna have problems. So of course David's scared shitless. He goes running to Debbie and he goes running to Arne and he's really upset by it. And at first, Debbie, being an older sister, thinks he's lying. He just wants to get out of cleaning for the day, which I've been there. I'm the oldest sister. To my siblings, if you guys are listening to this, sorry, it's just a tendency. So yeah, that happens. And they're like, okay, David, get over it, calm down. But then it gets worse because David's just still very adamant about this a few days later. He's saying that this old man's coming to him constantly and he's threatening to take David's soul. And he's presenting himself as a demon with hooves, whatever that looks like. So now they're creeped out. They're starting to hear, I don't know if it's voices, but they're hearing sounds in the attic. They don't know what to think about it. They're spooked. So they contact a Catholic priest. The priest comes, he blesses the new home, and that's it. But David just gets worse and worse. So they're just like, we have to get out of here. Maybe this place is cursed. Who knows? So that happens. They leave. They go to Debbie's mom's, which is also David's mom's house, and they're in her tiny little apartment or house. They don't really say. I just know it's kind of tiny. And they're living there. And at this point, they don't know what else to do. So just like the Amityville episode, the Warrens are contacted. So if you guys don't know who Ed and Lorraine Warren are, go watch The Conjuring. But seriously, they were real people and they're experts in demonology. So they come in, they look at everything and they're like, yeah, David's kind of screwed. He's not looking too good. There's something not right. So they do 3 lesser exorcisms, whatever that is. And they're performing those. I guess it's kind of more low key. And they're just like, this is not good. Nothing's working. And it gets to the point where during one of the exorcisms, they're like, all right, let's go find our own apartment, whatever. So they're working on that. But Arne gets so desperate that he's just like, demons, come to me. I'll fight you. I'll rid you. Just leave the boy alone. Bad idea. Guys, Just never offer yourself to the devil, whether you're religious or not. I'm not very religious, but just don't do it. So you'll see why. So he offers himself to the devil, and lo and behold, one day, Arnie's driving his car, and he said he experienced something very odd. He's like taken over. He's viciously kind of fighting something within inside of him. Something's attacking his body, and he believed it was a demon. So the demon took control of him and took control of the car and ran the car off the road and smashed it right into a tree. So he was really spooked, and he goes back to Debbie. He's like, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of fast. I don't know what else to do. Maybe we just need a fresh start. Not really a fresh start when you're looking to live in the same town, but hey, what do I know? So as David is like getting a little bit better, Arnie seems to be getting worse. And David was bad. It was coming to the point where somebody would have to stay awake with him at night to subdue him when he was convulsing. Like, he was having just convulsions in his sleep. He was having night terrors, which are a really extreme form of nightmares. He was sleepwalking and just flailing in his sleep and screaming and waking up with intense fear, not really remembering what he was dreaming about. So, he was starting to get a little bit better while Arnie was getting worse. So in the process of moving to their new apartment, Arnie returned back to the original rental area to go look inside of a well. Why? I don't know. Beats me, people. But the Warrens had warned Arnie and Debbie, like, not to go to this well on the property because a demonic entity lived in there. Really not a good place to be. So, of course, what does Arnie do? He goes to the well. Who knows why? I think he was trying to confront a demon, which he got a lot of that. And he says that he saw a demon there, and the demon looked into his eyes, and it was the scariest thing he'd ever seen, and he was taken over. The Warrens would later, tell authorities and just tell the public that it was believed that David was possessed by 43 demonic entities. And we thought one was bad. 43. Not good, people. So basically, what do we have here? Let's break it down a bit. Arnie offered himself to these demons, kind of challenging the devil. If you're offering yourself to the demons that work with the devil, not good. And now you're going to confront one in a well. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's really a selfless guy. But if Zombieland taught us anything, people, don't be a freaking hero. I'm just kidding. Help people. Please help people. We all need help sometimes. So, yeah. So that happened. So he comes back. He's not the same. They end up moving into a new apartment in Brookfield, Connecticut, where they meet Alan Bono. So now Debbie gets a new job, and she's working in a kennel for animals. And she's working at the kennel. Alan's her employer, and he's also the guy who gave them the apartment to rent. Alan's a pretty nice guy, I guess. So, whatever. So now we're going into 1981, and David's somewhat better. Arnie's the main concern. He's hissing, he's growling. Sometimes he's not remembering these weird outbursts he has. He's cranky. He's not the Arnie that the story started off with, who was really nice and calm and understanding. He's just not himself. So at this point, they really don't know what to do. Hell, I wouldn't know what to do, but the Warrens really backed off of the case. They're like, David's kind of a lost cause. I don't know what more we could do. You need to get the police involved. And they would call the police a number of times, telling them of what happened. One police officer would even claim that he would have testified in court if need be, because he had saw David levitate during an exorcism. Don't know how true that is, but yeah, that's what happened. So, Anyway, so they are in this new apartment. It's February 1981. I think it's February 16th, and Debbie's working at the kennel one day. Arnie calls out of work because I guess he doesn't feel like going to work. He works at Tree Right Services. And he calls out, as in him, Mary and Wanda. Mary is the 9-year-old cousin, and Wanda is Debbie's sister. They go to the kennel to meet Debbie for lunch, and Alan Bono offers to buy them all lunch. They go out to a bar to eat food, in which Arne and Alan get very intoxicated. They were drinking heavily. It's a bit of a crazy afternoon for them, I guess. So when they left there, they went back to the apartment, went back to the, which I think was located right near the kennel. So they go back to the apartment. Debbie's not feeling so keen about things. She's feeling tension between all of them. She's feeling like very uncomfortable, but Mary's still hungry. Wanda really didn't like the bar food. So they go to a pizza place, but Debbie knows she has to be quick. There's something not right between these two guys, but whatever, men are men, let them hash it out, whatever. They go to get pizza, they return quickly, and when they return, Arne and Alan are going at it. Not good, yelling at each other. Whatever. Allegedly, Alan had said something inappropriate about our friend, Debbie. And Mr. Arne didn't like that, of course, because that's his woman, that's his lady. Like, let's not say anything inappropriate about my lady. Totally get it. So they're fighting, and Debbie gets involved because it's just getting heightened. And then Alan grabs young Mary, refuses to let her go. So now Alan's completely triggered. Oh, I'm sorry, Arne. Arnie's completely triggered at this point when Alan Bono grabs Mary. Not about it. So he eventually lets go of Mary. Mary runs to the car where Wanda is, and Debbie's trying to break it up between these guys. Wanda sees it's not working. She grabs Arne. Arne turns around to Wanda, and he starts snarling and growling like an animal, a rabid animal. And I mean, it's not funny, but I kind of find it funny because I don't know what I would do if a grown man was growling and hissing at me like a rabid animal. Don't know. So whatever, Wanda's like, screw you, I'm getting out of here. And all in all, really, really quickly, Arne grabs his pocket knife. It's a 6-inch pocket knife, and he stabs Alan 4 times, 4 very deep gashes. One actually runs from his stomach to his heart, and Alan Bono dies. Not good. So obviously a court hearing is going to be set real soon because the police find Mr. Arne 2 miles away, and they're like, yeah, you just murdered someone, not good. So the court hearing gets a bunch of publicity. Like, everybody knows about it because this man's claiming the devil made me do it. I was possessed. That's why I killed this man. And Arne was known to be a nice guy, very patient, calm, polite, collected. This was weird. And obviously, given the story, the whole story's freaking weird. But I digress. So a bunch of people are trying to go see this court hearing. There's a Hilton in town that is full to capacity. The courtroom held 70 people shoulder to shoulder, so not a very large space. And yeah, things just didn't go as planned. A man by the name of Manella, that's his last name, he wants to be Arnie's defense attorney for free because he just feels like so strongly about this case and Arnie's situation, struggling for money. He's like, no worries, I want to take this on and I'm going to take it on for free. And then the Warrens are getting involved. They're like ready to testify if they need to. Like, they were there for the whole thing. Arne was possessed by a demon, and so was David. So they're all ready, guns blazing, and the defense attorney is ready. It's the first time in American history that possession's being used as a defense in a courtroom. Never had that been heard of. But of course, a Supreme Court justice, before he was that, he was whatever his title was, because I can't remember, but goes by the last name Callahan. Can't remember his name, it's slipping right now, but I'm sure you guys know if you're into politics. If you don't, just know that this is an important guy who turns down this defense attorney's plan, which I'm not familiar with the law, but I didn't really know that could happen, so call me ignorant, maybe, but now I know. So he's like, no, not happening. You're not claiming possession because 1, you're just going to confuse a jury, and 2, you're not going to be able to prove it. And Manella's really pissed. He's like, no, I can prove it. I'm going to subpoena these priests that were involved so they can testify to the rites, which when I say rites, it's really the exorcism, the ceremony that happened to cleanse of these demonic entities. And hopefully they will be able to break tradition and publicly talk about what had occurred in this exorcism. So that was shot down. It didn't happen. So now Ed and Lorraine Warren are experiencing controversy, and so is this defense attorney, because people are saying Ed and Lorraine Warren do a bunch of lectures, and they had one coming up, so they just were using Arne and David's story to pump up their publicity. They did live in Connecticut, so I mean, could have been true, like maybe that's what they were doing. And then for the defense attorney, he just looked like he was begging for a story that would be saturated in the media to try to get his name out there, which I mean makes sense too. It could have been his motive, who knows? But regardless of whatever outside criticism they were receiving, they all stood behind what happened to Arne and David wholeheartedly, and they said, like, listen, I know what I saw and this happened. That police officer knows what he saw. These priests know what they saw. We have a case. But regardless, Manila had to change what he planned to do, and he would later change the defense to what is it called? Self-defense. So he would change it to self-defense, saying that Alan said something inappropriate about Debbie. This triggered Arne, and Alan had grabbed the pocket knife away from Arne, went to go stab him. Arne protected himself, took the pocket knife, and feared for his life and stabbed Alan in return. So lo and behold, he didn't get charged with murder. He got charged with manslaughter. He was set to go to prison for 10 to 20 years and got out on 4 years of good behavior. I don't know what to think of that. You guys have your own opinions, but very interesting case. And basically, a year before he got out, him and Debbie would get married. They would go on to have 2 children together. They would get 2 grandchildren. All was well. She became a nursing assistant. He became a construction attendant, I think. But regardless, happy ending for both of them. Alan Bono, not so much. But to this day, Alan and David hold true to what happened to them. So I don't know what you guys think. That's the story. Do you believe in possession? Do you think it's a hoax? Do you think the Warrens are a hoax? I don't know, but fun fact, The Conjuring 3 comes out, and the whole premise of this film is this story. So I'm so excited to take a look and see the movie, and then compare and contrast to the resources I've used, and to my videos and my podcast episode. So even though you're seeing a video right here, just remember I do have a podcast titled Crime Ghoul. Check out my Instagram, CrimeGhoul_, and I've got a Twitter, Crime Ghoul, and yeah, Facebook, Crime Ghoul, where I just talk all things true crime and thoughts on my videos. So, well, now videos, cheers, or my podcast episodes. So if that's something you guys want to do, come join me. I could use some people who like the same thing. It would be nice. And yeah, so check it out if you like what I do. I have a Teespring, which is in my Instagram bio, and that helps me out a lot. Or just sharing this, liking this, subscribing. Who would have thought? A subscriber? I think I have 7, and I'm so happy about that. So that's it. That's the episode for this week. I hope you guys liked it. It was interesting to film, and I'm sure I'll have longer videos in the future, but for now, I bid you adieu, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below for my first real YouTube video. Kind of just improv'd. But that's me, a disaster. Thanks for watching.